Hi, this is Kelly. Welcome to The Skinny. Yesterday at the Weight Watchers scale, I gained 0.2 pounds, which I was a little surprised. I thought I would lose. I had a great week. So since it's the week of Thanksgiving, I want to be grateful that I only gained 0.2 and grateful that I had a great week, even though I gained.
I lost 0.2, which I was really kind of upset about.
Be grateful.
I guess surprised is probably more the word. The week before I gained 4 and I deserved, so you just deal, and I wasn't upset about it because, well, it is what it is. Yeah. This week I had a great week and was really surprised to even only lose that. Very shocked.
Well, so we're going into Thanksgiving in the U.S.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. What I think we've talked about is we're both up about 4 pounds from our lowest weight, 4 or 5. And of course, we're both not happy about that, but we're really trying hard to gain control of that
and just get through the holidays.
Make it through.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I think the goal is not to gain any more than we already have gained, and to, even if it's maintaining or losing a pound, and even if it's, we talked about this last week, gaining and losing 3 pounds, I will deal and be fine with that.
Oh yeah.
So we've had a plan.
So, well, Weight Watchers, every year, I always look forward to the Great Plate.
It's a plate!
It's placemat, and you plan your plate for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So we did, and we were very excited, and we have a very good plan.
We do. We talked about the fact that we have to eat 2 meals in a day because we have our mom's side of the family and our dad's side of the family. Now, both of our parents are deceased, but our dad's side of the family is my stepmother, which we adore, and our family are I guess our stepsisters, who's also deceased, her children who we helped raise, and their babies, which we always talk about the babies. Those are our babies.
The crazy babies.
The little babies now. And so we'll have a big Thanksgiving meal. And then we have our my mom's side of the family, which is me and my sister, my uncle, and my aunt.
And that family's dropped like flies.
We're dropping like flies.
There's not very many of us.
We will be visiting our uncle who is in a nursing home, and we will be taking food.
Yes.
Now, the beauty of that food is that we're going to go to a restaurant that you can go here and get a great turkey dinner, and it's easy to count because it's a restaurant and we have the points to it. So then you discuss what we're going to do in the day.
We are actually going to take our food during the lunch meal. We're taking 2-point bread, so 2 slices, so that's 2 points for the bread. We'll eat the turkey that's there, make a sandwich, which it's like having leftovers for me, so I'm thrilled to do that lunchtime. Have a little bit of stuffing. I know it's the stuffing because Kelly's making it. Yeah. And we're going to just take green beans, whether anybody else eats them. We're taking them for us. And I think I'm just going to call it there. I mean, I'm going to take a dessert that the Weight Watchers leader gave us yesterday. We had a substitute leader named Lori who we love, and she gave us a dessert that is so low.
We'll share that,
and we're gonna take it. We're not gonna share with anybody else. They can eat the pie I take. I'm taking pie. Now there is one indulgence that we are both going to have tomorrow
for the dinner meal,
and that is Frisch's pumpkin pie. That in Cincinnati,
yum.
It is the only pumpkin pie that exists in Cincinnati.
It's ecstasy.
It is
13 points of ecstasy.
13 points a slice, but it's so good, and it screams Thanksgiving if you live in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So I am definitely going to have a piece of that in the evening. So that's the one thing because one of the things Lori said is, if there's something you can't live without on that day. For me, it's that.
It's that. I think for me, it's that, and it's the turkey that my stepmother makes because she makes a killer turkey. And so for me, those are the 2 things I'm counting on to enjoy. And everything else, I can live without.
Yeah.
I'll make the mashed potatoes, the stuffing. What else am I making?
Where we're taking a Frisch's pie there and a Frisch's pie there.
And we'll just skip it for the early meal. But what I like is, we have our plan.
We do.
We generally know we're going to have there. We're really 100% okay with kind of treating it more like a lunch. For us, as far as the amount of food we eat.
Yes.
And then our dinner is easily counted, and we're having our pie, which is the splurge.
And the plus is at the lunch thing, there's probably going to be like 27 people.
Oh.
So no one's really going to be paying attention to what I'm eating.
No. And they wouldn't care
And
anyway.
they wouldn't care, but no one's going to go, you're only eating that instead of that. Well, you're not getting all that. No one's going to say anything. We're probably not even going to notice.
Yeah.
So, if you're in a family where there are families out there where sometimes other parties notice everything that you do.
Why are
and they
you eating what I made?
If you have that situation, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's hard. I do have some suggestions for that.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it is the hard thing where you have the food pushers at the holidays.
Yeah.
I think that can be a challenge.
And a lot of times it's like Aunt Nora or somebody like that you just want to slap.
Or the mother-in-law, which I've heard from multiple people. I think my suggestion to you is to put a little bit of a spoonful of maybe everything on your plate that you can try, and maybe get the, you know, worry about protein and vegetables. But if you feel like you want to try a couple of things, put a spoonful of those things.
And if you don't want to try it, but it's pushed on you, put it on your plate, move it around.
Nobody needs to know.
Nobody needs to. And if they have a dog,
oh, slip the dog some food.
sometimes
That's what they're for.
That's what they're for. Sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah. Nobody will ever know.
I mean, the holidays can be really hard.
Wait a minute, until the dog works
Until
it
the
up
dog
underneath.
throws it up. It's kind of one of those things. We're fortunate in the fact that I don't really, when I'm with my family, want to drink or eat. I mean drink, and I mean that's another meeting. But I mean there's some people who do have that. To get through a family function like that, it's bring on the alcohol and bring on the food because you're stressing me out.
Yeah.
We're fortunate we don't have that issue.
We are.
So if you do, I'm sorry. Just do the best you can.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
And
it's brutal out there.
And we like to say, you know, too, we talked about this, it's one day. Try not to make it the whole week.
Actually, it's really not a day. It's a meal.
It's a meal.
It's
in
a
some
meal.
cases, it's just a meal. And try not to see it as, we're trying not to see this as this week of, like, food.
Well,
it's a meal.
And
for us, it's 2 meals, but we're going to work through it.
Let's segue into the event thing. I mentioned this last week because my leader does this.
So we did it.
So I took out the little calendar I had, and I just printed out. I went online and downloaded it for free.
Yeah.
November, December, and I put little yellow highlighted X's on events. This is this coming week. Oh my God! I only have 2 days where there's not an event.
Well,
2.
we turned 50 Wednesday.
We do.
So we had a dinner today. We had a brunch today.
That was
delicious. But we counted, and it was our bigger meal.
Yes.
And our dinner was our smaller meal.
I gotta say, today I had one of the most delicious plates of food I've ever had. I have to kind of tell you what it is because it was so amazing. It's a restaurant that's locally owned, and they give you this piece of sourdough bread. There's a huge, like, thick slice of geta that they make in their restaurant.
And that's a local
thing,
too.
And geta's a local thing, too. You may go, what is geta?
It's
delicious.
Delicious.
It's Goetta. Look it up if you're curious.
Oh, my Lord.
It's deliciousness. And then there is... like
gravy,
this fondue.
Brown
it's
gravy.
actually a cheese fondue.
Cheesy,
brown
gravy, fondue-y thing.
And then they put an egg that's runny on top. I literally wanted to lick the plate.
And then we put there was a side of like potatoes, like O'Brien with the peppers and onions, and we put that. We both were weeping.
I almost licked the plate.
It was so good.
To say,
I mean, here we are. We're on Weight Watchers, and we're talking about this food lovingly.
But I will say,
I enjoyed the meal.
The portion was normal,
which I love about this restaurant.
Like, it was not. They don't do huge amounts of food.
It's what a normal plate of food
would look like.
And we split that. We split that meal, and then we had another meal that was something just to try,
something different.
And it was something a little different, and we split that again. A normal plate of food. And very good. But you know, there's something to be said about enjoying your food. And what I like about when I do have a meal that I consider kind of a splurge, I really try to take a moment to really, if I'm gonna have that thing, to truly enjoy it and take my time and savor it, because it's not something I eat on a regular basis.
No. And so that being said, tomorrow and Tuesday, we're eating out Tuesday, but it's a brunch and it's easily counted, not a big deal. So I didn't even mark it as an event. I didn't even mark it as an event.
No.
The 23rd, we don't have anything specific scheduled, but knowing us, there will be some type of cake involved, whether it be a mini cupcake or something like that. So I will count it, and who knows what will happen on our birthday. God knows where we'll end up. So
the plan is really not to go there, because our family would usually like celebrate with us on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So again, probably pumpkin pie will be my
But
cake.
I put an X on there just in case. something occurs, we decide to go do something. So I didn't want that to be like, oh God, I hadn't prepared.
Because you do really need to start thinking about all those days that are coming, like
You do.
Christmas parties, and you know, if people coming in from out of town, you know,
Yeah.
that also involves eating out more
It
often.
does.
So it really is taking that time
Well,
to think through that.
In the December calendar, every Saturday is yellowed between December 3rd to December 31st, but one.
Yeah, and then that'll be full.
That'll
And then,
be
and
that'll
then,
get
you know,
that'll
Fridays
get filled.
will become full. So it's again, it's
Yeah.
trying not to let that become
Yeah.
so out of control that you don't think and plan.
Yeah.
And even thinking and planning is also trying to remember, for me, it's not about the food.
It's
and
not.
I'm trying to tell myself that it's not about
But,
the food. It is about
But I will
being
say,
with your family and your loved
I
ones.
know, but I will say, we really associate certain foods. That's my text thing. Sorry. We really do associate feelings and
Tradition.
emotion with those traditional things, and a lot of those traditions involve food
They
and
do.
certain dishes.
They do.
They do. They bring back a memory. They bring back your childhood, or they
Again, Frisch's pumpkin
pumpkin
pie.
pie. So it
Yeah.
really is. But you know what? Maybe instead of saying, "Well, I have to have this tradition, this one, this one, this one, this one," you pick, which one's my favorite?
Yeah. And for us, it's the Frisch's pumpkin pie. And then I knew my stepmother's turkey was going to
Yeah.
be a thing. But it's protein. I'm looking
Yeah.
at that as an opportunity to, protein keeps you full longer.
Yeah.
So by the time I eat my meal at dinner, I'm not going to be starving. So be thinking about that. You know, if there's a side salad, loading up on more greens, you know, trying to find something, you know, you can try something without blowing it.
My phone is blowing up.
If you fill up a little bit more on the protein and the greens, you might feel less tempted.
Yes.
To, why don't you do that?
Thank
You
you.
might
I
feel
did.
less tempted to really like say load on the mac and cheese, load on the mashed potatoes, you know, because you're getting full and
Yeah.
sometimes it's just the activity of eating when you're in a group of people. You want to participate, you don't want to feel left out.
You
but
don't.
there are other things to eat, you know, and not everything has to have a 3 sticks of butter in it.
That's true. And before I share what we've been doing in the last couple of days,
Let's do
'cause
the light dessert we talked
That's what
about.
I'm gonna do.
This is the light dessert we're taking for the
Yeah.
lunch that's very,
have to
very
share
low
this.
while everybody else is maybe eating dessert.
It's a crustless pumpkin pie.
Heaven.
Here's I'm gonna read it slow so everybody can write it down on a recipe card.
And then we'll also
Glasses.
You want to use mine?
Yeah, yours will do.
There you go.
Or mine what? It's kind of scary.
And then we'll also post it on
Okay.
our Pinterest.
Okay. Ooh, oh, good idea.
Good idea.
15-ounce can of pumpkin, just pumpkin. She has Libby, so she obviously has
Whatever
it's a
pumpkin you
good
have.
brand. 1 cup of fat-free milk. We'll use Carb Master on ours, which I like the Carb Master. If you guys have Carb Master, it's lower, I think, than even fat-free.
Yeah.
1 egg, the whole egg. 1 egg white. So you've got the 1 egg and 1 egg white.
Okay.
3/4 cup of Splenda. So
You get it in the
obviously
bag.
the baking Splenda.
The baking
Yes.
substitute, whether it's equal, but I think Splenda is.
Yeah, Splenda's got a good baking mix from what I gather. Half a teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Yum. A 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Yum. And a half teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice.
Yum.
So you mix all of that.
Yeah.
I guess you put it in a pie plate.
Spray, I'm sure, like Pam.
Spray,
or-
yeah, whatever. If you have nonstick, just whatever you have. Nonstick, if you do ceramic, whatever, spray if you need to. Mix it all, obviously, put it in. Bake at 425 for 15 minutes or 350 for 25 to 35 minutes. I've never seen a recipe where they give you an option on how to bake it. That's interesting.
Yeah. And how
There's
many
literally an
points
option.
for that?
Oh my gosh, here's the best part.
Oh, man, yeah.
1/4 of the pie is 1 point.
So we can split it in half.
So
If we want.
or you could sit down and eat the whole darn thing. Just saying.
It's a total of 4 points,
Yeah.
correct? 4 points.
Yeah.
So for us, you know.
And a Weight Watchers leader gave us this, so you know it's good. You
yeah.
know it's true. You know that's the pointage.
Right.
So I'm very excited. So I will be having this for lunch.
You know, and pumpkin pie is a big thing for me as far as Thanksgiving.
It is.
So for me, will completely satisfy me.
Yes.
Although, you know, have my, you know, it could be, and I'm even going to take this as I'm going to go in thinking potentially I will have that and not feel the need to actually eat the freshest pumpkin pie. I'm gonna be open to the fact that I might not do that. If I'm satisfied enough with that at lunch, then I might not do that at dinner.
So you're gonna watch our Uncle Jeff eat a slice of freshest
I might.
pumpkin pie.
If I feel
and not have one with him.
if I feel satisfied by that, I'm gonna be open to not eating that pie.
Alrighty.
Color me impressed. I'm gonna try because. You know, but you know, I'm not saying that I won't go. I gotta have that.
Am I making 2 batches just in case it's really good and you might be willing to have it again later?
Because instead of the freshest pumpkin pie, I'm gonna be open to that because that's a lot
I will
less
make
points.
2 batches. We have these mini.
Go show them to them.
Oh,
They're so cute.
I always do this. I always move out of the room.
We also have these tiny little ceramic type pie plates, and they're really, you know, adorable because what we'll do is we'll make a casserole or something that's they can be separated, one for her and one for me, and that way you have any leftovers. If you eat half of it, you can calculate it, and we have the other half for later.
I
And
have to figure out what it is with
you could kind of nuke them or heat them at your own pace, like especially if you're cooking for 2, but you don't necessarily always sit down to eat together. Sometimes it's convenient to split whatever recipe you're doing in little pie plates.
So one of the things we like these.
I tend to like ceramic pie plates to bake in.
Casserole. These are like 2 like.
They're like individual ones, basically.
So this will be like half that recipe.
And I could put the half in here. So I know, here's the thing, I know this is mine. I could eat half at lunch and the other half at dinner and decide not to go with
just saying.
And I could very well do that. But I like the fact that I know this is mine because she tells me I hoover. Like if we eat popcorn at a movie, she does not want to share popcorn with me because I hoover, which means I try to eat most of it. So these kind of things, that's why we have these kind of things in our house, because
it's ridiculous.
Because she says I don't share well.
She does not share well. I look down and I'm like, what happened? I didn't get any.
Right. Yeah.
But I of course weighed more. What is wrong with that picture? What is wrong with that picture?
So anyway, just be prepared. Plan ahead, and then let's talk about what we've been doing this week.
Well, last week,
or should I say we really started it this weekend strongly.
We were talking about the
KonMari
book, that life-changing magic of tidying up by Marie Kondo, and her method is called the KonMari method on basically getting your house in order, purging, keeping.
And when I told you she was going to be obsessed, I was not lying. I was not lying.
Let me just say, in all embarrassment, that I just donated just clothes, and I'm a purger of the clothes.
We are purgers.
5 garbage bags of clothes. Yeah, 1 garbage bag of shoes, and probably 2+ of handbags.
Yeah, I did the same.
I was disgusted with myself.
Maybe it wasn't that much as you.
Literally, there are 10+ garbage bags on my porch for pickup tomorrow morning.
Yes. They're both
ours. We're donating to AmVets. So they're on there. They asked us to put them on the porch. They'll pick them up at 7:30 in the morning.
And being purgers, we like to think that we don't have a ton of stuff. We're not big people of stuff.
Today, I felt like I had a lot of stuff.
I had to agree. I felt that way also.
But I felt good to let it go.
Wow.
But I kept what I liked. If I really, because her thing isn't to not
minimalist lifestyle.
To be confused with just get rid of it if you don't use it. That's not it.
No.
Get rid of it if it doesn't make you happy.
Right.
And it's not if you have the ugly. I have a shirt upstairs that is the ugliest. It's big. It's ugly. It's a sweatshirt. I keep it because I sleep in it in the winter and I love it.
Yeah.
It is horrifying. I love it.
Right.
It makes me happy. It's okay to keep that. It's okay to keep stuff like that.
There's a nice feeling of
just get rid of stuff.
No, of control with this because
you're choosing.
You're choosing. And we both have finished our clothing.
Mm-hmm.
We finished the shoes.
I still have to finish the actual folding of one of my drawers.
Yes. Finished the handbags.
Mm-hmm.
Finished outerwear. Have we finished outerwear?
I had an appalling amount of scarves.
Yes. The next step for us is books.
Books, which we have done a preliminary purge probably a month ago.
Yes, we'll do another.
So books, DVDs, and CDs will be probably
Next.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
tomorrow.
it's very empowering. I feel actually it does make me feel very in control of my world, and that translates for me into food, into the rest of my life. So there's something to be said for feeling empowered and controlled.
Gotta say, maybe this will be the job I do when I retire. You can actually become a consultant.
That would be fun.
You can take a seminar and be like certified. So maybe in my retirement, maybe that's what I'll do.
Most of our friends say, hey, you could come over to our house and help me get rid of stuff. And then usually they say, oh, maybe not.
I'm afraid of you.
I'm afraid for you to take care because you would make me get rid of too much.
Actually, no. Based on this, I wouldn't. I mean, before
right.
I would have like throw it away, because that was my attitude. Just get rid of it. But this kind of has changed my perspective. And you know what? It became almost easier to let things go when I looked at it as keeping what I loved, and everything else just got discarded. Because usually you're just looking, what am I getting rid of? Don't approach it as what am I getting rid of.
I love this?
It's what am I keeping?
Yeah.
If you look at it with what you're keeping, it becomes so much easier to
empowering.
do. And by the time I got to scarves, I was like whipping them off there, and she was looking at me going, "What's happening?" I was just whipping them off. Nope. Hang it back up.
So I like the kind of the tie-in that I think this is bringing for me to not just in my world in general, but food being part of that too. I think there's something to be said for really feeling in control, because that's what you try to really gain when you're on Weight Watchers. Control is really important. Feeling in control of the food that you eat, and your planning and your tracking, and
put it over to other parts of your life. I think, and I think I have totally started doing that. And I haven't really started the second book because I'm so in the midst of doing what's in this book that I haven't really gotten. I've had the second book and I kind of started it, but I kind of put it aside and went, I'm actually going to go do this before I really get into this. Because it's not about, you have to get through all the categories.
It's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. I'm absolutely obsessed.
So everybody have a wonderful week. Enjoy and plan and track and be mindful and be grateful.
That's
and
what
remember,
it's about the experience, being with family. It's not about the food.
We're going to remind ourselves of that too.
We are. I'm going to have to, because it's going to smell really good.
Yes, it does. That's the problem with Thanksgiving Day dinner or lunch. Good. You walk into a room and it just assaults you. It's fabulous. It is. So we will see you next week.
We will.
Lighter later. Bye.